Sahanau bhavatu, sahanau bhunaktu, saha viryam karavavahai, tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Shanti Shanti Shanti. Namah Shri Shankarananda Savilasa Mahamoha Graha Grasa Karmane Tatpadamburuhadvandva Seva Nirmala Chetasam Sukhabodhaya Tattvasya Vivekoyam Vidhiyate. We have given a lengthy introduction to the Purva Paksha that is going to come. And who is the Purva Pakshi? Vaisheshika. And we have also talked about the Vaisheshika Mata, little introduction. And just to sum it up, the introduction, what is this Vaisheshika Mata? Vaisheshika Mata refuses to entertain the Jagat or anything for that matter as mithya. Everything is real. This is on one end of the continuum. On the other end of the continuum, what is there? Everything is mithya. Who says that? Buddhas, Buddhists, Everything is mithya. So this is a whole range of theological positions, so to speak. Everything is satyam. Satyam, 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 satyam. And then what else? Everything is mithya. If everything is mithya, there is no satyam, then mithya itself becomes satyam. And if everything is satyam and there is no mithya, what will happen? You will see shortly. Okay? Two problems are there and which are going to be discussed shortly. So first thing we need to know, I'm just going to make it into a capsule, everything that we talked about the other day. So first thing we need to know is that for the Nayyayika Vaisheshika, everything is satyam. And then tarka or logic is the pramana. For logic pramana, what is the scope? What is the scope of logic pramana? All that can be proven logically. Atma is Brahman. It can neither be proven or logically nor can be disproven logically. In other words, it's not against logic, but it is out of the scope of logic. You can't ask why is it out of the scope of logic. It's for the same reason that this flower is out of the scope of your ears. If supposing somebody cannot see, they are not going to say, let me put it near my ears and see this. The ears cannot substitute what the eyes can do. Every pramana is a king in its own realm. It has adhipatyam, it has rajya, it has a kingdom. For the eyes, the pramana called the eyes, what is the kingdom? Form and color. Nothing else can reveal form and color. And nothing else can reveal all the decibels of sounds. Sounds heard by you, sounds heard by dogs, cats, other animals, bats, all these things. And then nothing can do what the nose does, what the tongue does, what the skin does. Each pramana is in its own right for revealing that particular thing. It is totally suited and not for anything else. We already saw this in the previous class. You can't have two pramanas revealing one thing. Then it will not be, neither of them will be, they will both lose their pramanyam. If two or more pramanas are there for revealing only one thing. And therefore, For knowing Atma is Ishvara, I am non-separate from Bhagavan. What is the pramana? Shastra. The words reveal and the words remove the ignorance associated with this I, centered on the I. When the ignorance is removed, the truth is already there, the I being self-relevant. This the poor Vaisheshika does not know. Everything is Satyam. So that is and then he thinks that the Vaisheshikas, they think that you can, logic is the ultimate pramana. What can you reveal from logic? Anything that is subject to inference or deduction, that's all. But here it is not. So they think that logic alone can reveal, and so therefore what? Therefore I can establish what? Atma as Brahman. How? Logically. And so your establishing of Atma as Brahman based on the Shruti Vakya, therefore is what? Invalid. Not only is it invalid, it is full of dosha. That's why these people are not, those who don't accept Veda as pramana are called Nastika matas. Nastika does not mean don't believe in God, even though colloquially people say that. Nastika means people who don't accept Veda as a means of knowledge. This Naiyayika Vaisheshika, Nirishvara Sankhyas, and then this Bauddhas, all of them come under this category. And then Astika means those who trust the Veda as a means of knowledge. So now, so the second thing to know is that they don't consider the Veda as a pramana, they want to establish it logically. And then the third thing is, if everything is real, they have to come up with lots of categories. The whole thing is full of categories. What are the categories? Guna, quality, but the quality is centered on what? A substance, dravya, and the dravya, the substance, can be further divided into jati, various categories like species. And then what else is there? Between one dravya and another dravya, and between one dravya and quality, there is a sambandha. An inherent sambandha called samavaya sambandha. So this way they have tied themselves up into knots, and then such a person who has been listening, but with what kind of an attitude? Logic rules, logic zindabad. Veda pramana doesn't rule. That is nothing. Wait till so what I am going to do now, the Vaisheshika is telling themselves, what are we going to do now? With this whole teaching that you have given up till verse 43, we are going to dismantle in one verse. That is the idea. We are going to dismantle. Let us see how the trial is going to happen. 49th verse. Savikalpasya lakshatve lakshasya syad avastuta nirvikalpasya lakshatvam nadrishtanna cha sambhavi savikalpaka lakshatve lakshasya syadavastuta nirvikalpasya lakshyatvam nadrishtam na cha sambhavi. Okay, so now this is the Vaisheshika talking. What does Vaisheshika say? Now I am confused about your Brahman. Okay, it's Vaisheshika's Brahman also, but this is the way of talking. About your Brahman defined in your way through this so-called Advaita that you keep touting, I am totally confused. Because looks like you have gotten yourself into a corner from where you cannot emerge. You are stuck in this corner. And what is that corner? That corner feels like if you are in between, this side there is fire and that side there is a steep rock. You are on a cliff, and then if you go this side you will fall. So then what is the choice? Should we get completely fried by the fire, or should we get completely fall down from the cliff and fall? What should we do? This is the kind of a really bad corner you are in. Why are you in this corner? Because if you say Brahman has vikalpa. Vikalpa means divisions. What are the divisions? What are the divisions? Yeah, Maya, Sattva, Rajas, Tamas, and so many things coming out of Brahman. So if you say that Brahman has divisions in the form of Jagat, Jiva, Ishvara, those are the divisions which we have been discussing. If Brahman has divisions, what is the status of these divisions? Satyam or Mithya? Mithya. So Mithya divisions and Mithya attributes and Mithya names and Mithya forms. So then, if you say Brahman is Savikalpa, then what are we looking at? A bunch of Mithya. Brahman becomes what? Mithya. Savikalpaka vastutve. So Savikalpasya lakshyatve. So first we have to look at this Lakshana Vakya. What is it lakshifying? Meaning, what is it indicating? What was the Lakshana Vakya? No, what was the Vakya here? What was the Lakshana? Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam, Tat Tvam Asi. Those two Vakyas we saw in detail. Okay. So this Lakshana Vakya of what did they discuss? Tattvamasi. This Tattvamasi Lakshana Vakya, what is it indicating? Is it indicating a Savikalpaka Vastu, or is it indicating Nirvikalpaka Vastu? And both ways you are fried, you are gone. Why? So if this Brahman, that which this Lakshana Vakya is indicating, is Savikalpa, then what will happen? The whole world becomes Mithya. So we become Buddhists. The truth of the world is zero. I mean, not all shades of Buddhists say that, but those who say that. Those who say that are mostly in Thailand, Theravada philosophy. It's the what is that called? Shunyavada. So you will become what? Shunyavadin. Why? Because what is Mithya in your own words? It doesn't have any independent existence, no independent reality. So basically, if it is Savikalpaka Vastu, then your Brahman becomes a bunch of attributes without any locus. Just a bunch of attributes, because for him everything is Satyam. Just a whole lot of attributes, your Brahman becomes. And then Savikalpasya Lakshasya Syat. So for this Lakshana Vakya, what happens? Avastuta. The Vastu becomes Avastu. Vastu means thing, Atma. Avastu becomes non-thing, Anatma. So now if you are trying to use Lakshana to indicate Atma, and what is this Atma that you are indicating? Is it manifold? Does it have Vikalpa, divisions? According to you, yes. It is divided as it were. He doesn't see the as it were. It is divided into Jiva, Jagat, Ishvara, and so many other things. So many, and then each category, because remember, Dravya, Guna, all these comes. Ishvara has gunas or no? Yes. Ishvara himself is a Dravya with gunas. And then what else? Jagat has Dravya? Yes. Jagat has Guna? Yes. Jagat has Sambandha? Yes. All these things are there. And and Jagat has Kriya also, one more thing. Ishvara also has Kriya, because Ishvara is creating the Jagat. So this Jati, Guna, Kriya, Sambandha, all these things apply to what? Savikalpaka. So then, according to you, if all of them have functions, Ishvara has function, Jiva has function, Ishvara creates, and what does Ishvara create? The entire Jagat of name and forms. Jiva also creates. What does Jiva create? Confusion. Okay. So then all of them are creating, and then all of them have gunas, they have attributes. And what is Ishvara's attribute? Ananta Kalyana Guna Nilayaha, the abode of infinite qualities. Your God. I am not saying it's my God, your own words. It's like the Vaisheshika wants to do that karate move, use the Vedantin's own word against them. This is a very much of a martial arts move. And so here, so if your Brahman is Savikalpaka, then what do we have? We have Jagadandhya Prasanga. We have, what is it called? There is no source of the Jagat. It's just a bunch of mithya. So there is no Brahman, so to speak. Why? Because it's all Vikalpa, Vikalpa, Vikalpa. And then if it is Vikalpa, then what is it? According to your own words, anything, see how cleverly he has been listening. We thought he was not paying attention, but no, this person is paying attention very closely. And what do they say? If you say that this is what is Brahman, of many names, of many forms, of many varieties, this Nana Vidham Jagat, this Jagat full of names and forms, if this is your Brahman, then what happens? If Brahman is Savikalpaka, then it becomes what? Mithya. It becomes Mithya. Then what will you say? You will quickly rush to Brahman's aid and say, no. Brahman is what? Nirvikalpaka. Nirvikalpaka Chaitanyam. Brahman is Nirvikalpa. Then this is what I meant between a raging fire and the precipice of a cliff. That is where you are standing. You have no place to go. Because then in the second line he says, Nirvikalpasya lakshatvam. So the lakshana for something that has no attributes, na drishtam, where asmin jagati, we have never seen anything without attributes being indicated, being implied through words. We have never seen. Not only have we not seen, na sambhavi, it is impossible. Impossible it is. Because first we have to understand lakshana. First of all, what is his contention? This lakshana is also not possible. You cannot do lakshana of Brahman. You cannot do implied words, all these things you talked about. You taking away the particulars and leaving the invariable. All these things you cannot do. They are just at best mental, what are they called? Gymnastics. Mental gymnastics. You know how the gymnasts go from one swing to another swing and everything. And from there itself they catch the other swing and then somebody else follows and then they swing and then they go down and then they come up like this. So what is the Vaisheshika doing? Swinging from nerve to nerve. Okay. And so here the Vaisheshika says you have a lot of verbal gymnastics. So as soon as I point out that your Brahman is Savikalpaka, what did you do? You said no, it is Nirvikalpa. Nirvikalpa means no attributes, no name, no form, free of time, free of place, free of locus. How are you going to indicate that? Na drishtam, na cha sambhavi. And here we have to add one more detail about the lakshana itself. How does lakshana operate? We said we saw three forms of lakshana. Jahat lakshana, let's just take one as an example. And a stock example is what? Jahat lakshana, the white runs. So then Ajahat Lakshana. Ajahat Lakshana, let's just take one small example. Ajahat Lakshana, white runs. Makes no sense. So what do you bring in? Ashvaha, white horse runs. Correct? So, white runs, yes, it's an implied meaning, which where it doesn't make sense. So the implied meaning becomes clear when you import something else. You import the word what? Horse. Then it makes sense. Okay? And the same thing with Jahat Lakshana. What is that? Gangayam Ghoshaha. A hamlet on the Ganga, a village on the Ganga, or in the Ganga, even better. A village in the Ganga means what? It is already submerged. No, it is on the banks of the Ganga. In the Ganga is given up, banks is brought up. So like this, we have all these Lakshana Vakyas, and then the contention of the Purva Pakshi is that the Lakshana Vakya also, the Lakshyartha also becomes Vachyartha, does not remain Lakshyartha. What? How? Why did I spend so much time studying about Lakshana? I broke my head, Jahat Lakshana, Ajahal Lakshana and Bhagatyaga Lakshana, all these things. And now you are saying Lakshyartha becomes Vachyartha. How? Because, simple reason. White runs, correct? And then what did you do? You bring in the word horse. Now, in your understanding, your friend said, look, the white runs. The white is running. But in your understanding, after you imported the word horse and you translated for yourself what? White horse running. White horse is running, you translated for that. Now, let us look at that sentence carefully. The white horse is running. Is it Vachyartha or Lakshyartha? Vachyartha. Direct meaning of the word. White horse is running. That's what you have to understand. That's what you understood. So where is Lakshana anymore? It is no longer Lakshana. How can it be Lakshana? It is not Lakshana at all. Because same thing. Now what is the definition of Brahman? Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam. And then you do some lots of acrobatic exercises. From Satyam you remove this, that, and then you pump up Satyam with Bhava Sadhana, and then from Jnanam you remove this, that, all these things. It's like doing plastic surgery, yeah. You sculpt and you remove, and then you put in some fillers and God knows what else and everything, and then you take out all the wrinkles of the normal expression Satyam, or a normal word Jnanam, normal word, what is the other one? Anantam. And then now you have got new meanings. You have minted new meanings for all of them. But then, what is the locus of these meanings? Where is this Satyam? You don't know. You can't tell. Where is this Jnanam? Nobody knows. Nobody can tell. Where is this Anantam? Nobody knows. Nobody can tell. It has no particular locus. You yourself will say it has no particular locus. It's like, is Brahman here? Yes. Is Brahman here? Yes, Brahman is present right here where you are beating the table. That is where Brahman is. Oh, Brahman is this table? No. Nirvikalpaka. So, this way you keep hiding. What is that? Going between, back and forth between Savikalpa and Nirvikalpa. So, if Brahman is this table, then at least something I can understand. I can measure, 24 inches by 12 inches. I can measure. But here, what do you say? You get into that, Nirvikalpa zone. You zone out into Nirvikalpa so that nothing can touch your Brahman. But really speaking, you have carved out you have dug a grave for yourself. You have carved out a nice grave for yourself. Why? Because if you say nothing can touch Brahman, how can Lakshana touch Brahman? Hello. You see, this is the problem. And then what? Vaisheshika looking at the friends is gloating. Ha ha. Down with Advaita. Down with the Advaitin. Vedantin has now to become what? Vedanta out. Yes, you have to come out of Vedanta because both ways you are caught. Did you understand this? Yes? Do you want me to repeat it? No? Okay. So let us look at it word by word again. So, Savikalpasya lakshyatve. Lakshyatve means in the event of using implied words. Lakshyatve. When Savikalpakasya, if your Brahman is Savikalpa and then in the event of that Savikalpa Brahma being indicated, then that which is the Lakshana Yogya, Lakshya means Lakshana Yogya, that which is fit to be indicated by words, Syat comes under or becomes what? Avastu, avastuta syat. How does it become avastu? Because in your own understanding, what is that which has parts? That which has parts falls apart. Mithya. Mithya. It is not real. Why? Because it has a series of cause and effect, cause and effect, cause and effect, cause and effect. Everything is a series of causes and a series of effects. So therefore, that which goes into, ultimately after all the causes are exhausted, where does it go into? Infinite regress. How? Take this shirt. Take your own shirt. Take the shirt. What is shirt made of? Cloth. Fabric. Fabric is the cause of the shirt. Is it the ultimate cause? No. Because fabric also has cause. Yarn. Yarn is the cause of fabric. Is the yarn the ultimate cause? No. There are fibers. Are fibers the final cause? No. After fibers there are what? Molecules, particles, and then you go into quantum physics. Yes. When you talk of particles and waves, then you go into quantum physics, and quantum physicists will tell you that they don't have an explanation for this. A certain particle facing a certain way has its parallel elsewhere, wherever it is. And then that will also face a certain way. If you manipulate this particle and turn it, that will also turn. Wherever it is, it will turn. And then what else? They will also tell you that if you are not sure whether it is a particle or a wave, you say, oh, are you a wave? And it says yes and waves back. And then that means what? Are you a particle? It says I am a particle, or it behaves like a particle. When you think of it as a particle, it behaves like a wave. When you think of it as a wave, it means what? The observer is affecting the experiment. If the observer is affecting the experiment, that means what? There is oneness. The observer and the observed are part of one thing. There is one truth. This is where the quantum physicists fall short, but up till here they are able to come with the help of inference, etc. And so therefore here this Savikalpa means it is made into many names and forms, and then if it is made into many names and forms, whatever you indicate is what? Either infinite regress or it is avastu. Avastu means what? Not vastu. Vastu means thing. In the Shastra, the only thing being worth called a thing is Brahman, Atma. Everything else is no thing, nothing. Everything is nothing. So then your Brahman becomes what? Nothing. From Vastu, it gets demoted into Avastu. Then you instead of saying I am from Advaita, ashrama that teaches Advaita, then what will you become? You will have to give up your philosophy and say, I am Shunyavadin. That's what it means, because I have nothing else here. Now, no. It is in the next line, let us see. Then it says, Nirvikalpasya lakshyatvam. Using Lakshana. Don't think you only have studied Lakshana. I have also studied Lakshana. I know what it is. I am Shastrajnaha. I am also a Pandit. I have studied Lakshana. I know what it is. Who has applied Lakshana to something that is as good as non-existent? Because you can't show me where Brahman, you say it is everywhere. Everywhere is not good enough. Everywhere is not good enough. It should also be available. You say, is it available in a particular place? You say no. Is it available at a particular time? You think about it and say no. Is it available in certain circumstances and conditions? You say no. You say it is nirvikalpa, and then what? That means what? You cannot use Lakshana to describe it. And a non-described vastu, which nobody knows where it is and which nobody knows how to find it, is as good as what? Avastu. So either way you are looking at what? Avastu. Your Brahman is nothing. Your Brahman is as good as non-existent if it is Savikalpa or if it is Nirvikalpa. If it is Savikalpa, it is non-existent, because according to your own mata, according to your own philosophy, anything that has divisions and anything that has parts is what? Mithya. And so this whole Jagat is what? Mithya Bhuta Jagat. You yourself say that. And then, so therefore, then you say, no, it is Nirvikalpa. And if you say it is Nirvikalpa, how can it be, if it's not even an object? It's not an object, it's not the subject, it's not that which brings in the subject and the object, it's not a means of knowledge, it's not the manifest Jagat, it's not the unmanifest Jagat, it's not the Maya Shakti, it's not anything. And how are you going to use Lakshana for that? How can you possibly use Lakshana for that? Lakshana is for that which you can objectify. And besides, there is no such Lakshana, because even the words that are used as Lakshana have to be translated into Vachyartha and then only understood, like Gangayam Ghoshaha and Shveto Dhavati. These are the examples. Then only while translating it to Vachyartha you can understand. And is Brahman Vachya or Avachya? Avachya, you cannot talk about it. So therefore you cannot use Lakshana. If it is not available for Vachyartha, what Lakshana will you use? So now what should the Vedantin do? Quickly answer back. Okay, yeah, because we have seen these kinds of fellows many times, yeah. Even though it looks like a very intelligent Purva Paksha, it's the Vaisheshika ultimately is a very dull being. Why? Because this is what happens when you exclude yourself from the equation. Yeah, all this focus on science. I am the operator of this pramana called what? Tarka, inference. I am the operator of Anumana, I am the operator of Arthapati. Then what is left out is the self-shining self. You are stuck at the level of Pramatra. Pramatra means what? Knower. You are stuck at the level of the knower. You have not understood how to transcend the knower. That only the Shastra can do. The Shastra alone can knock off the knower. So you are both ways limited. How are you limited in both ways? You will not submit to the Shastra as a pramana. You will not surrender. You will not say there is something I can never know any which way. I have to submit to the Shastra. You will not say. And if you will not say that, the Shastra will not bless. Shastra will not yield its goodies for you. And then you are stuck also in another way, because you are stuck as the pramata, as the knower, and then like the 10th fellow, you have left yourself out. Yes, this is the whole Dashama story. Dashama means what? The 10th person. 10th person has left oneself out, and who is left out here? The self-shining I is left out. This Vaisheshika Mata is not looking at that at all, and hence the problem. So, what does Swami Vidyaranya, how does Swami Vidyaranya reply? Very, very, very cleverly. Very, very cleverly. And then let us look at the verse and then we will understand it. Idam guna kriya jati Drav. Oh, yeah, I was wondering, suddenly there is a jump. Okay, yeah. Vikalpo nirvikalpasya savikalpasya va bhavet adye vyahatiranyatra anavasthat adye vyahatiranyatra anavasthatma shrayadayah adye vyakharati anyatra anavasthatma shrayad. Don't say anavastha, okay? Navastha, you have to say. All right. So just don't break it at all, then it will come properly. Let's try it again. Adye vyahati anyatra navasthatma shrayadayah vikalpo nirvikalpasya savikalpasya va bhavet adye vyahatiranyatra navasthatma shrayadayah. Okay. So, you think you have tied me up. Who is you? Vaisheshika. Who is me? Advaitin. You think that you have tied me up. But actually, your, what is that? Your rope consisting of guna, dravya, sambandha, all these things, your rope has been used against you when you were not looking, and in fact, you are the one that is tied up in knots. How? See, now this vikalpa, correct? Vikalpa means all these vikalpas that you said. Let's take your first argument, that whatever has vikalpa is what? Mithya. Now, this tree is mithya or satyam? Mithya, because it has vikalpa. Tree is mithya. How do you, I will ask you this. I will ask the Vaisheshika this. The Vedantin will ask the Vaisheshika, how do you define a tree? Well, that's easy, that which has leaves. Don't say that which has leaves. In the winter, many trees stand there without leaves. No, that which has branches is a tree. Because here they want parts, savikalpa, the parts. That which has branches is a tree. That which has branches is a tree? Yes. That which has branches is a tree. So the coconut tree and the palm tree which don't have branches, are they trees or not? They are trees. So this also doesn't, this also doesn't cut it. So that which has roots is a tree. Roots means what? Yeah? That which goes under the ground and takes up the water, and that's why it is called padapaha. That which drinks through the feet, drinks the nutrients, the water, etc. through the feet. Yes, we can all agree that which has roots is a tree. You hear that sound? Yeah, that's the same sound a chainsaw makes, okay? Finished. You cut it off, you cut off the tree. Poor thing has grown for 55 years, it has taken to grow. And then this person wants to make a development of what? Houses. Yes. So that same noise it makes, exactly that same noise, and then in 5 minutes it's gone. What is left? Roots. Is that a tree? No. So even this definition, that which has roots is a tree, is gone. What else is left? That which has a trunk is a tree. In my attic I have a trunk. Am I a tree? No. So that definition is also gone. So then, where is the what is your definition of tree? If you are the one who has all these vikalpas, dravya, guna, every vikalpa you account for, what is your definition of a tree? Vaisheshika scratching the head. Okay. And then what does the Vedantin, what would the Vedantin say? Listen to me. I will give you the definition. What is the definition? That which has treeness is a tree. Oh, that sounds interesting. That which has treeness is a tree. Now if we translate it into Sanskrit, what will we get? Vrikshatvam, treeness. Then we have to make it into third case. Vrikshatvena saha vartate. Vrikshatvena saha vartate. And the direct translation of it is that along with the treeness, it is. It is along with the treeness. Now for the very, very, very important question. What is the location of the treeness? Where is the treeness located? Can you say the treeness is in the tree? Okay, let's take that paksha. Treeness in the tree. If the treeness is already in the tree, how can you define the tree as that which has treeness? If the treeness is already in the tree, then that is not, that is not, the treeness is not qualifying the tree. We have to think like Vaisheshika. Vaisheshika would say the treeness qualifies the tree. Between the tree and treeness there is samavaya sambandha. Okay, where is your treeness? Where is your treeness? If it is located in the tree, we have a problem. What is the problem? Infinite regress, or even an allied, what is that called? Dosha, called, infinite regress in Sanskritam is called anavastha dosha. Anavastha ashraya also we can say. And then two other problems which are like in the same neighborhood also can happen. One is it called anyonya ashraya, mutual codependence. That is also a problem in logical thinking. Mutual codependence is a problem. Now here we have a third kind of a problem which is called atmashraya. Not anyonya ashraya, mutual interdependence or codependence. Like what is the cause of rain? Something, clouds. Then what is the cause of clouds? Rain. I mean, we can't say that, but if somebody were to say that, this would become atmashraya. This is the example of atmashraya, where you go in circles round and round. This is the cause of, how can this be the cause of that and then that be the effect be the cause of the cause and the cause be the cause of the effect simultaneously? It's not possible. Therefore, it's a fallacious thinking called atmashraya. Yeah? Yeah, that is also called chakratva dosha, correct. So, this is going round and round. And then that's what you say, no? Chakkar means dizziness. That's what causes dizziness. If you go round and round in the thinking. And so if you say the tree is in the where? Located in the treeness, sorry, the other way around. If the treeness is located in the tree, what is that? Atmashraya. Problem. Because what is the sentence? That which has treeness is a tree. What is that? And in Sanskritam also, if we put vrikshatvena saha vartate, there are actually two substantives. That which vartate is one, and that which is vrikshatvena saha is another. There are two hidden substantives. One substantive is obvious and one substantive is hidden. That which has treeness, that is different. Then which has treeness is a tree. That which has treeness. What is that? That? Tat Jagat Karanam Brahma. That which has treeness cannot be in the tree. If it is in the tree, then we have a problem called Atmashraya. No, it is outside the tree. If it is outside the tree, what do we have? Vyaghata, contradiction. How? Because then we will ask the question to you, where is the treeness located? Is the treeness in the chair? No, you have to say no. Is the treeness in the pot? Is that which has treeness a pot? No. Why? Because that which has potness is the pot, that which has chairness is the chair, that which has tableness is the table. But then, where is the treeness located? And if the treeness is not located in the tree, then we have a contradiction called Vyaghata. So either way, Mr. Purva Pakshi, you are fried. If you say that you are critiquing Brahman because it is Savikalpa, then what does it say? If it is Nirvikalpa, he changes it. It takes Nirvikalpa first. So if you say it is Nirvikalpa, Brahman is your what is that? Lakshana doesn't work, because Brahman is Nirvikalpa, and if Brahman is Nirvikalpa, what was the thing? It was that it cannot be indicated. It cannot be indicated at all. And if it cannot be indicated, means what? That treeness cannot exist. Your treeness, guna called treeness, cannot exist outside of the tree, cannot exist in the tree either. This is the contradiction. And if the treeness exists in the tree, then we have a round thinking called Atmashraya. This is the answer. The answer is in the form of a question. Let us look at the words here. So, Vikalpaha Nirvikalpasya Savikalpasya va bhavet. So, the Vikalpa that you talk of could be for what? The Nirvikalpa Vastu or Savikalpa Vastu. Because this is your contention, that Brahman is not Nirvikalpa. It is Savikalpa because everything is real. This is your thing. This is your thing, how to define each and everything as a Satyam, each and everything as separate from another thing. So then if this Vikalpa is for the Nirvikalpa, then there is a contradiction. How can Nirvikalpa be defined by Vikalpa? This is the contradiction. And then if this Vikalpa is for the Savikalpa, as was illustrated with the three, then we have Anavastha and Atmashraya doshas. We go in circles and we go in an infinite regress. How? We'll see tomorrow. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om.